It's Friday with DJ and Brant. And DJ, you've got the coolest dude. Introduce him from the land of Red River. Oh, the best steak in the world.
And the best meatloaf on Wednesdays. This is my dear friend, Will Frost. He and his wife, Jill, own Red River Steakhouse, and they have two locations, one in McLean or McLean, but most people call it McLean, and Amarillo. Did you hear about the two truck drivers that were driving and they kept saying, "How do you pronounce the name of that town up ahead?" The other one said, "I think it's McLean." The other one said, "No, it's McLean." And so they got to the Dairy Queen and they went in and they said, "Okay, before we order, we need you to settle a bet." And the lady said, "Okay, what?" And he said, "How do you pronounce the name of where we are?" And she said, "Oh, that's easy. Dairy Queen." Ta-da!
Ta-da! Well, Will Frost, man, you do have the coolest name. I mean, hey, it's better than Fricker, but Will Fricker. Just be thankful you don't have that. But Will Frost, sharp young man. How long you been there at Red River?
Red River, I've actually been there since probably about '98 with McLean. So
Whoa.
forever. So I was started over there when I was a kid. So I'm like, it's like my first job.
Well, you still look pretty young.
Oh yeah, forever. I've lived there. Well, I went to high school in McLean, so I started there as I guess, really my second job technically, but had a lot of fun learning how to do everything from bussing tables to the fun stuff, washing dishes, waiting tables, all that stuff.
Right.
So,
wow.
yeah, we've been in Amarillo since 2015. So
Yeah, well, talk about how you came to own the one there in McLean. I
Oh,
think this is a great story.
okay. Well, that one I worked for Gabe Parson, and he was the guy that came up with all the K-bobs, the chain K-bobs back in the late '60s and '70s. And he had retired and moved to McLean and opened this little place up. And I went to work for him, not knowing who he was. And as time went on, he just kind of moved me from position to position to position. And the place actually sold to a group from Border in about 2003. And I stayed on with them to, kind of help train their staff on everything. And I kind of watched the whole place get turned upside down, and I didn't like it. So I had this brainstorm that I was going to put in my own restaurant, and I put one in the big city of Groom, and it was called the Route 66 Steakhouse there. And we ran that place from 2003 until 2006. And the people that had bought McLean were like, "Well, we're done with this place." And so I went in and bought it from them and took it back over and put it back to the way it used to be. And that's kind of how it all happened. And anyway, brings us up to now. And of course, we had Walker. And so whenever he was born, I decided to put the one in Amarillo in so I'd be closer to him and be able to take care of the kids. And now we've got Walker and Witt. So it's an even crazier party. So,
Well,
Wonderful.
I knew about 2/3 of that story, but the part you just added is absolutely fascinating. And I'm just so proud of you because you have a heart of service and the way you take care of your customers. And your customers are also your wait staff, your cooks, and all that. And you're just an incredible person.
thanks. And we're more friends and family up here than anything else. I mean, everybody's is happy to be here, I think, and pretty fun most of the time. So
Well, the monthly breakfast is great. Of course, you guys are very accommodating for that. It's just I'm just really impressed. I've always have been. Red River was the first restaurant my wife and I went to when we came to Amarillo. Absolutely love the food. Everything is good, but the staff are very good as well. I don't know. I've usually seen some of the same wait staff, but the standard has remained the same. Just really, really great. And Will, I love your true American success story. What's been your experience with Welcome Partner?
well, Welcome Partner's been great. So DJ, she keeps me on my toes.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm on my toes most of the time. I'm short.
But yeah, it's been really good. She's always promoting us, always talking about us, always saying positive things. She talks better about me than I talk about myself. So it's really, really good. It keeps me out of trouble. And then the breakfast has been really good for us too, bringing in new people and new faces. And unfortunately, I am always gone on Friday during the breakfast, but running kids here and there. But anyway, it's been a great experience, lots of fun, and I think we get lots of exposure. So it's a great deal.
Will, with restaurants, not just because we're with DJ, whom I love, everyone loves DJ, but as a marketer too, I've just seen a lot of good things, especially after COVID. COVID changed television, it changed everything, but also changed marketing too. And people kind of got reacclimated to being at home. And so having a tactile, advertising experience that you can put on your refrigerator just seemed to make more sense to a lot of people, because you can tell in the trends nationwide with direct mail. But how would you encourage restaurants now that maybe they have a new marketing person and they're right out of the gate, they're excited about all the things they learn in college, but many times, in all due respect, they're learning from people who haven't been in the field in a while. How would you encourage them in regards to direct mail versus just solely using social media?
Well, direct mail is good because it's a tangible, product in their hands, so they can see it. It's there to remind them about us. For digital marketing, you see it and it's gone. You see it and it's gone. And I do some of that too. But the physical stuff is good. They open their mailbox and they get a little treat in the mail. They get to open it up and they're like, oh, hey, let's go try that out. Let's go give them a shot. So I think it's a really handy way to get in their, be in their space kind of, and they can't get rid of you because it's in their mailbox. It's on their table. It's right with them.
And you're right. With the digital is great too, and there's options for that.
We get in that too, though.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about. There's options with digital with you, DJ, and of course now we're doing these interviews. We're about to venture into another long time, very effective medium as well. A great perk for people who are with Welcome Partner. But all that to say is, folks, any kind of business out there, if you really, really want to literally use a venue that's almost like a currency, almost like a cash machine, one thing that never changes through the years: women love coupons, and guys appreciate them, of course, as well too, especially with gas prices fluctuating a little lower right now, conveniently, but still, we want people to do well, businesses to do well, and I just encourage more and more people to follow Will's example and do digital, but also do the direct mail, especially if you're a restaurant. But
well, and if you don't mind me saying one thing, I talk about Will all the time. I really do, because the heart that he has for his staff as well as his customers. I think, Will, what was it, about 6 months after you were open, or at least about 6 months after you were with us, you had the fire over there on 45th. And Will took care of the people who worked with him. He kept them on staff. He kept the core people on there. And then the bank was working with him on his loans so that he wanted to refurbish that building and make it more the way that he would have had it had he designed the building in the first place. And if you haven't been to Red River over on 45th, go there and see. The ambiance is absolutely wonderful.
It's
absolutely
great.
Beautiful in there. And it's like you walk into a great big hug. And then it's also that Western flavor that people want to have when they even come into town. So we encourage you to go to Red River Steakhouse, one of our favorites.
Sharp young man, entrepreneur, gosh, success story.
Great
Obviously, dad. I mean, hey, come on. Didn't get better than that. Well, Will Frost, it's great to meet you. And it's always good seeing you, DJ.
Thank you. It's nice seeing you too, Brant.
All right. Well, I'm craving Red River right now. I might be seeing Will soon too. Thanks for joining us today, folks.